Hello everyone, my name is Vaishnu Mishra Vishnu. Today's topic is way of exception handling in Java. Today's date is 8 December 22. Now we're firstly discussing the what is exception handling in Java. The exception handling in Java, the effective means all the handle of runtime error so that the regular flow of a application can be the previous, and Java exception handling is a mechanism to the handle runtime error such as class not found exception, IO exception, SQL exception, remote exception, etc. The exception is the unwanted and unaccepted event which has the occur to during the exception of programming at the runtime and durability of a distribute of a normal flow of the program, and instructions of exception can be the catched and handled by the program. When the exception occurs within the method is created object and the object is called as the exception object, it is contains information about the exception such as the name and distributions of exception and state of program when a exception occurs. The major reason of why when the exception occurs: invalid user input, device failures, loss of the network connection, physical limitations, code error, opening an unavailable line. The error is represented in the conditions and such as the Java virtual machines and running out the memory. The memory lacks stack overflow error, library and incompatibilities of in effect and recursions etc. Error are the usually behind of a control and program and should be not the handle error. The error is indicated the serious program that a responsible application should be try catch. The exception indicate the conditions responsible application might try catch. The exception hierarchy of exception. The exception can be error type of subclasses and throwable, which is the base of a classes, and hierarchy of one of a branch handle and exceptions. The class use can be the exception condition that is used to the program such as catch, null point of the exception. It is the exception such as the exception handling. Then it is type of exception. The type of exception is user defined exception and built in exception. First discussion is built in exception. There are two ways of the built in exception. First is the checked exception, second is the unchecked exception. And then it's the second is user defined exception. First discussing the build exception. Build exception are the exception is available in the Java libraries. This exception is suitable in the suitable. The first is checked exception. The checked exception is called as the compile time and exception, and because that as the compile time exception is compiler, unchecked exception is the just the opposite of a checked exception. The compiler is not a checked exception and compiler in single words if a program throw and checked exception. And even they did not handle the declare it is the program will be not given a compile time. The user defined exception. The sometime is the built in the exception in Java is not available the descript and certain of the situation. In the case user can be create exception, call it is called as the user defined exception. The advantages of exception handling: provide a complete program exception, easy identification program code, error handling code, propagations of a error, and maintenance error report and identify the error type. This is the some discussion of exception handling in Java.